action.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Susan Anderson, and I'll be giving a informative training speech today for speech class 3325. And the speech that I'm going to be giving is on personality profile typology, which is kind of for me, it's a very interesting subject. What we'd be doing is using what we call a DISC assessment, but we're going to be using animal characters. But before we get into the animal characters, I do want to go over what the DISC stands for. Because basically there are 4 broad categories with personality traits for individuals. So I do want to give each one of you a handout because in this presentation today, I would like for each of you to take a quick test. And this is your personality typology test. So we can find out how crazy you might be. Would you mind passing the rest of these out? Thank you. And does everyone have a pen or pencil? No. Before we actually do the test, I did want to go over the DISC, the 4 broad categories. Personality, traits. And they usually align like this. 5. C. Now D stands for dominating. These individuals who are dominating usually follow with characteristics being more strong-willed individuals. They just want the bottom line, don't go on a lot of rambling or explanations. They're very direct individuals. They're very blunt. They tend to be problem solvers, very productive. They are the doers. Your influential individuals for the I, they would be more of your outgoing individuals, very friendly. They don't know a stranger. Very talkative. Tend to be a little undisciplined. That would be me. Kind of loosey-goosey. They don't always pay attention to detail. They're just more of the fun-loving optimist. Every day is a beautiful day. Hey, let's go have a good time. Probably people like in Louisiana, every day is like, let's find a reason to have a party. You know, stay up late, have a few beers. But that would be your I. Your S are individuals that more of your steadiness. These would be people that are more calm, easygoing, very diplomatic. They tend to be the peacemaker. These are the individuals that try to stay away from conflict, confrontation. They'll do anything to appease others just to avoid any conflict. And being that they're this way, they tend to be individuals that are more indecisive, a little more fearful, tend to worry about things. And being that they worry or fearful, they're not very motivated. Some of them lean more being toward like a pessimist. And then you have your C, which stands for compliant. Now these individuals are your analyticals. They're very self-disciplined, very organized, very detailed. Being that they're so organized, detailed, they get frustrated very easily with these guys right here that are just loosey-goosey out there. They don't pay attention to anything. And being that they're that way, they get very negative toward individuals that fall into that category. And they can also become frustrated with the ones that are steady. These individuals are unsociable and quite critical and can be revengeful. Now, in your little test packet that we have, when you take the test for the personality typology, there are 4 columns that you see. First column, what you would do is you would list and really think about when you're listing how you are at home or family. That's how I want you to do it today. Now, when you're thinking about the way you work in your workplace, believe it or not, your personality does change somewhat in a workplace compared to the way you are at home. It can. But what we're going to discuss, or what we're going to do, is go over how you are with family and at home. So in the first column, your weakest or not at all, if you don't think you're this way at all, mark it 0 in your first column. If you think somewhat, mark it 1. If you think mostly I'm like that particular trait, mark it 2. And if you think very much, mark it 3. You would do the same in the second column, in the third, and in the fourth, and then you would total each one at the very bottom. Once you've collected and you've tallied and totaled, on the second page, you'll notice there's a score sheet. And on your score sheet, you can score as high as 60 points in one of those columns, or you can score as low as 0. Now, at the very top of your score sheet, you will see lion, otter, golden retriever, and beaver. These are your animal characteristics. Now, in some personality typologies, they will just stick exclusively with the DISC. But for individuals and family, if you include children, it's a lot more fun, easy to remember when you're aligning it with these little animal characters. Now, once you've tallied, you will go and you will mark through the line the total score that you got in each column. This will give you an indication of who you are. Are you the lion? Are you the otter, the golden retriever, or the beaver? Now, once you know what you are and you understand yourself, then you are able to understand how others may perceive you and how others may believe that there are certain things that might motivate you or discourage you. So once you understand what you are and you understand how others may perceive you, your communication skills are a lot better, especially when you combine that with you understanding how another person might be. Knowing these personalities, these 4 broad personality types, you will be able to determine the person that you're communicating with, whether it be a family member or someone at work, which one of these 4 categories do they fall under. And if you're able to determine that, you will understand if you're talking with someone in your family that really falls in, and they've taken this test too, and they fall into the D, or what you would consider the lion category, you know that this person, you can't have a 1-hour discussion on one little topic to explain something to them. They want bottom line, just give me the answer right now. And they're going to tend to be a little more of a problem solver, so let them come up with solutions and don't nag them on solutions. Someone that's a steady in your family, if you're able to determine that, you can understand you can't be too blunt with them. You're going to hurt their feelings. They're going to walk out of the room crying. You have to handle them a completely different way. So understanding these 4 broad categories, knowing what you are and being able to determine and perceive what others are, helps you in your communication skills and your style. You're able to work together a lot better and get more things accomplished without any arguments or fights or strife. Now, once you have tallied up your scores, you find where you are, then you can go to the very last page, the 3rd page. And here you're able to determine which animal character are you. Are you the lion? Now, relationship strengths for the lion, these particular individuals take charge, problem solvers, very competitive, enjoys change, but they can be very confrontational. Another, say, communication style, they're very direct, like I said earlier, very blunt. They're just, it's one way, it's my way or the highway. If you don't believe what I think, then you must be wrong. Their weakness is they just don't listen to what other people have to say, because what they're saying is most important. The relationship needs personal attention. They want recognition for everything they do. They also take opportunities to solve the problems, and they are free to accept changes. And relationship balances, they just do need to soften up, and they do need to become better listeners, especially if they're going to be working with these individuals down here. An influential person, they really don't care because they're doing their own thing anyway. They're not paying attention to detail. If you're an otter, you're very optimistic, you're energetic, you're motivating, you're more of a life giver. People enjoy being around you. But you can become a little overbearing sometime when you're just not following through and you're not paying attention to detail. It can become frustrating for the other individual. They do love approval, and they accept social recognition. Some of the relation balances, they do need to be more attentive to other people's needs. It's not all about them all the time. Golden Retriever, now these people tend to be more warm. They're more empathetic. They're always out to help others. They're the ones that if someone's in the hospital, they're bringing them flowers. Or if someone's sick at home, they're making chicken noodle soup for them. They're always looking out for others before they do them before themselves. And they attract the hurting. People that feel like they need someone to lift them up. These Golden Retrievers attract those kind of people. They give more emotional security, but when they do that, they lack giving what they need to themselves. They ignore themselves. They're very selfless people. And the last would be a Beaver. There again, that would fall more under your compliance, the very analytical, the very critical, the strict, the very organized. They're very factual. They are great listeners, but they want detail and they want quality. A balance for them would be learning how to give more support and always being a little more positive with their possibilities. And through explanation, them giving explanation isn't always everything. Now, once you determine which animal characteristics that you are, whether it be a dominant lion, an influential otter, a steady Golden Retriever, or a compliant Beaver, take that, understanding what your personality is, how people perceive you, so you know how you are acting and reacting, and then take that and also understanding what others are looking for and how they perceive you and the way you need to work with them. Understanding these things will help you work better with your family relationships, help you work better in your work relationships with individuals, reducing strife and understanding and communicating a lot better. Does anyone have any questions regarding their personalities? Did y'all get a chance to do some of that while I was talking? Who's a lion in here? You're a lion? Gerald, you're a lion?
I think I'm lion and otter.
I'm a lion otter.
Yeah, because they can cross over.
We're otters.
Yeah.
Typically, you're not ever you will very rarely see it that direction.
I'm a cleaver.
I have 49 in line and 37 in other
what?
three.
Okay, yeah, you're definitely a lion
That's weird.
then. Yeah, so you need to understand, you can't be too blunt with your family members and understand that your family members, you don't want to come across to someone in your family that's an S and hurt their feelings every time you talk to them, so they just try to avoid you all the time. And you're wondering, why don't they want to talk to me? It's because you keep getting in their face,
You have to remember to put on your Golden Retriever
Put
collar.
on it as much as you can. Right, and sometimes it's hard, but understand that that's that person's personality. And who is an otter? Is anybody an otter?
I'm kind of thinking, between the lion and the otter, there's some strong ones on
I
that.
was an otter, and then it crossed over to the lion, because I'll take charge. If nobody else is going to do it, I'll just jump out there and do it. And then was there a Golden Retriever? Any golden retrievers? You were a golden retriever?
I can
You
see
have to
being
be a golden retriever to balance Cody out, right? So that's good. And any beavers? I don't like beavers. But I like you, Dylan. No, kind brain. Typically, I don't like beavers because they're too detailed, and I'm not at all. But my betrothed, he's a beaver because he's very analytical and very detailed, and we tend to get along. So I guess we balance each other out. Well, I thank each and every one of you for taking this. I hope that you take the opportunity to use this and improve your relationship skills with your family and those that you work with. Thank you.